Take your time and just let me know.
I'm ready.
So, obviously the number 16 team in the country came in, and just overall thoughts.
I thought it was a tale of two halves. I think when you don't play that style of basketball very often, as much as you prep for it, and I told them that since Monday, that's a team that's very hard to prepare for because you can rep it and rep it and rep it, but it's until you're in it that the fatigue and the punch in the mouth, and it starts becoming a little. And I thought our guys did a decent job in the first half or the first 10 minutes withstanding. I thought we were battling with them. We were forcing turnovers. I think at halftime we only had 6 ourselves against a team that presses and tries to force as many as possible. But those second 10 minutes in the first half kind of unwinded on us, and that's where they had their run, and you look up and you're down 20. But then you look at the second half, and I was proud of the way that they responded. And the message at halftime was literally just what do you want to be known as? What type of team do you want? One that just, resigns from the battle, or the one that just goes out there and just gives it all they got? And I was, we come out and we score 45. We beat them in the second half by 5. There were a lot of plays that we probably could have won the second chance, the third chance on, but we had to gamble a little bit just to try to make it close. But hats off to them. I mean, they play like that for a reason, and they're successful with it.
You mentioned a couple of sort of changes in the game there. One at 10-ish minutes in the first half, and then again a few minutes into the second half. One of them went not your way. One of them did. What do you think changed in those moments for you guys?
Just the consistency. I told them the point of the game was to be disciplined and detailed, and that's what DBU is so good at. They make you have to be consistent over and over again. And on offense, they understand where they want to get. They kind of use their offense to catch their breath a little bit, but they're good enough players that they punish you in one dribble, and then they got really good shooters. And it took our guys a little bit to understand that. Unfortunately, it was on the back end of being down 20. But I thought they came back and battled. We had to junk it up ourselves, and we kind of threw a wrinkle at them. And it worked for about 16 minutes. I thought we had full control of it. They still were good players and hit open shots. But the overall battle, I think, was the most important part of it, that they just continued to fight and find ways.
You also talked about the turnover numbers, and DBU came in 23-point-something
right.
turns forced per game. That leads the country. You guys turned it over just 13 times. You did say something positive about that, but how did you feel they did it?
You turned it over 13 times against a team that's forcing 23 turnovers in the league. That's a win for you. You get to the foul line 23 times. The problem is you put them at the line 22 times. So the goal was to keep the turnovers under 15. We did that. The goal was to get into the free throw line over 20. We did that. The problem was just their three-point percentage of 48% does not help. And so that's really where the game was won. But their threes, are based off of drives and kicks and rotations that we just didn't do a good job of staying in front of the ball.
Now, as you're well aware, there's no nights off in this conference, and
right.
You've got another tight turnaround for a good UT Tyler team. How do you feel going into that now?
I haven't really watched much Tyler just because it's been an emphasis on DBU. But I know that they're a very complete opposite team play style of what we just watched as fans. They're more physical, they're bigger, they're stronger, kind of like in Eastern New Mexico. So it's going to be a complete flip of what we're trying to get done. Coach Moser does a really good job, and him and I came in together last year as first-year head coaches for the programs. But Coach Moser's, been a head coach for a long time in a lot of good places, so I know he's going to be doing a good job against us Saturday, and we got to be ready.
All right. Thanks for taking the time, Coach.
Go Habs.